Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And so are you. You are also here, and we appreciate that. Thank you for joining us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Another exciting day filled with fun and adventure for the apocalypse. Early yesterday, it was reported that Amazon would start listing the cost of tariffs on individual items on their website. But soon after that, news broke that the White House had admonished that plan and called it hostile and political. And the president addressed it as well.
Jeff Bezos was very nice. He was terrific. He solved the problem very quickly. And he did the right thing, and he's a good guy.
Hey, there you go.
All right.
It just took one phone call.
That's it.
I wonder how that got out. Who at Amazon was planning to go down that road?
I don't know.
They seemed to think that it was something that they addressed, and then it wasn't going to happen. Okay.
They just talked about it as a possibility, but they didn't mean to ever put it in place.
Right.
I doubt that.
I doubt that as well.
They meant to put it in place.
I mean, other companies are doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it that unreasonable? By the way, I might do that. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, I mean, other companies are doing it. There's
Sorry,
all kinds of
we
companies
got to raise the price because we're paying more.
And they're saying it on their website.
Yeah.
You know, when you order products.
We're not trying to gouge you, but our cost went up, so we're passing that along to you. That's what happens.
This extra 12%?
Yeah.
Tariffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been a bad idea for Amazon to do that, but unfortunately, we weren't privy to the conversations before Trump took office. Remember, Bezos was hanging around him, and Bezos probably making a business decision not to get on the bad side of
Jeff
Donald
wants
Trump.
That space money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And President Trump discussed his first 100 days. Yesterday, of course, was the 100-day mark of his presidency here. And here's what he said.
Well, I think we've done everything or it's in the process of being done. For instance, the border is in great shape. 99.9% came out again today. 99.9. That I would say that was my number one thing. The economy would be certainly right up there, and I think it's doing great. We were losing billions and billions of dollars a day with trade. And now I have that down to a very low level, and soon we're going to be making a lot of money. We're going to be reducing people's taxes, and we're going to get the big, look, a very important element that we're working on now, maybe more important than anything with the border in good shape, is the fact that we want to get, and very importantly, the big, beautiful new deal. If we get that done, that's the biggest thing, what's happening in Congress right now. And I think we're going to get it done. We have great Republican support. If the Democrats blocked it, you'd have a 60% tax increase. I don't think that's going to happen. We have great support from Republicans. So the big, beautiful deal, that's what we want, the bill. I think the next period of time, I think my biggest focus will be on Congress with the deal that we're working on. That'll be the biggest bill in the history of our country in terms of tax cuts and regulation cuts and other things.
Okay. Going to back it up with legislation.
Let's make it happen.
Make it so. Absolutely. Do you know anybody any rank and file human being, any just normal American who's opposed to that? No, please raise my taxes. Raise the taxes on me. Keep those regulations in place. I want to be restricted at every turn. I don't know anybody like that. Of course, maybe I don't know enough leftists.
No, there you go.
That could well be. Last night, the president was in Michigan.
John James, is he a congressman, this guy? He said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start the impeachment of Donald Trump. What the hell did I do? Here we go again. They want to impeach me.
What the hell did I do?
This lunatic, he was up. Actually, I had the television way down, and I said to our great First Lady, listen, did I just hear I was being impeached again? We're getting good at this, though. No, they've gone totally crazy. These people, and you know what? They've totally lost their confidence, too. They can't even tell a lunatic like this dumb guy that said it. And then you have the other one that's always with the cane. He's always impeaching. He raises his cane. He always impeaches. But they have no control over those people. They have no control, and the reason is they've lost their confidence. They have no confidence anymore as a party. They have no candidates.
Right.
And, when they say that Bernie's probably the best they have. By the way, he's about 7 years older than me, more, 8 years older. One thing I got to give him credit, he's a lunatic, but he's still pretty sharp. And he's going around with AOC plus
lunatic.
3, the plus 3 follow him. They hang on for little bits. They hang on for nuggets. And they get crowds. They say, our crowds are so much bigger than their crowds. Their crowds are small. If I ever had a crowd like their biggest crowd, they'd say it's over for Trump. He's lost the magic. But this is great, and all the people outside, we love you. We put screens up.
Thank you. I helped you out. Sorry about you not being able to get in.
The AOC plus 3, who are the other 3?
I think, do they make cameos at some of the events? I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So it's not just the 2 of them. You get a bonus.
Yes.
3 other people. What a treat!
It's like a Cracker Jack box.
Yeah, that's great.
You don't know which leftist you're going to get at the bottom.
Well, we know we're getting Bernie. We know we're getting AOC.
Right.
The
Then you got
others.
that tasty treat of 3 other kooks. So that is paying off hugely, I'm sure, for them.
What was it? They're hanging on for nuggets?
Hanging on for nuggets.
Yeah.
That's a good line.
Yeah. He again brought up Gretchen Whitmer. Governor
he likes
Gretchen
her.
Whitmer was.
He keeps saying he likes her.
I don't know why you would.
This.
She's hideous. But she came up to the microphone after he invited her.
So they saved an airbase there, I think. Is that right?
Yep.
He said, come up here. I'm going to make you speak. And she never thanks him.
I hadn't planned to speak, but I'm on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and serve so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan. I am really damn happy we're here to celebrate this recapitalization at Selfridge. It's crucial for the Michigan economy. It's crucial for the men and women here, for our homeland security and our future. So thank you. I'm so grateful that this announcement was made today. And I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
Wow.
She turns around. I appreciate
Incredible.
this announcement was made.
I mean, he pays her the respect to invite her up and say something. And she can't reciprocate.
Right. And earlier he said that, I like her. A lot of people don't understand I like her. And remember, he had her at the White House and she had to cover her stupid face.
Yep. And so she can't even so much as say, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity. Appreciate that. No, she can't even do that. That's terrible. These people suck.
Terrible.
She sucks. She's terrible. All right. Let me tell you about something that's fantastic, though. It's the Jace case, especially this new one with ivermectin plus mebendazole. It's the medication you probably heard a lot about on social media. It's a mix of 2 medications that have been around for years, but combined, they're being talked about as one of the biggest breakthroughs in modern medicine. Ivermectin is a treatment for parasites. Mebendazole is a treatment for worms. So now they're testing it to treat cancer. So what it does, I guess, when you put the 2 together, is it cleanses the body of toxins and then allows your body to heal itself. So Jace just launched a brand new use-specific case that's a 90-day supply of compounded ivermectin plus mebendazole. Jace is the fastest and most important, most affordable option you have on the market. They're offering ivermectin and mebendazole for 35% less than you can find it anywhere else. Get your 90-day supply of compounded ivermectin plus mebendazole right now, and do that at jace.com. That's Jase, jace.com.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
Speaking of the Democrats' issues, David Hogg and his vice chair of the Democratic Party, it's being challenged a little bit. And I don't know if he's shown anybody the pillow. Maybe he should, because
Boss Hogg.
it gives him a little bit more legitimacy.
Street cred.
I'm so huge that I'm even featured on a pillow.
Yeah, Boss David Hogg.
Hate to bring up that pillow information, though, since he bombed in his pillow business. So.
Yeah.
Quite badly.
That hurts.
Yeah, before it even got rolling.
Yeah.
Picking a scab.
He locked it up and left the building. So anyway, he's being challenged now. The DNC's Credentials Committee will meet virtually on May 12th to consider the challenge from Kaylin Free, a Native American attorney and party activist who lost her vice chair spot to David Hogg. So the reason that this is being challenged, I guess, is because there's not enough diversity there. Here's a white guy who got the office. So there's a white guy and a gay guy who got these two vice chair seats. And the Native American woman thinks she should be there because of diversity.
So the natives are restless at the DNC.
Yeah, they literally are.
I mean, they're mad at him because he started attacking what's his face?
He is in the process of raising money.
He's
for
primary
far
people.
left candidates to primary.
Mm-hmm.
But he attacked,
mainstream
who's the guy
Democrats.
in New Orleans, conservative wife?
James Carville.
James Carville.
Yeah.
He attacked Carville. And now the Democratic Party is like, hey, while you're attacking Carville, why don't you attack some other people instead of people that are on our side?
And it's because he wants to primary a bunch of people. And they don't like that necessarily, but also I love the fact that the Democrat Party is so twisted up in identity politics that it's paralyzing them. They can't even move on with the leadership at the committee, at the Democratic National Committee, because it's a different kind of diversity than they apparently think they need. It's absolutely amazing, because this Native American woman didn't win, and she should have, because you can't get much more identity politics than that. So now we've got to have another vote. And that's what she's trying to bring about. So I'll bet they do it. I'll bet they vote again on this thing and see if they can find somebody more diverse than a homosexual and a douchebag, just regular white guy who's out of his mind. So they've already got a handicapped person.
Oh, cool.
Mentally handicapped person in David Hogg. And then you've got the homosexual, but that's not enough.
That's not enough, Pat
That's
Gray.
not enough, because they're so twisted that I don't know. Who knows where this is going to go?
Is the Native American a lesbian?
Oh, I bet she is.
Because
if she's not, she should
definitely come out as a lesbian.
Absolutely.
But what if she doesn't win again?
Oh, then they have to shut down the party.
You just
Right.
have to
shut it down
at that point.
Yeah, you have to shut it down.
You just have to close up shop there.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm definitely okay with it. Because in reality, the real Democrat Party closed up shop a long time ago and replaced it with these radicals, these socialists
Marxists,
and communists. Yep. Remember? Oh, of course you remember, because we just played it yesterday, and President Trump just referenced him, Shri Thanedar, whatever his name is. He had the oversized wig, of course, calling for the impeachment of President Trump. Somebody sent this from back when he was campaigning.
Oh, look at there.
There he is.
Look. Pride Parade fun.
Oh, he's not great.
Boy,
is he gay, or is he just an ally? Do we know?
No idea.
How dare you ask?
How dare I?
What I do know is that according to a 2018 Huffington Post article, big thanks to Zero Hedge for posting this last night, he owned Shri.
Why are you gay?
He owned a pharmaceutical testing facility that went bankrupt, and then they shut down the building, and then he just abandoned 170 dogs and monkeys inside. And so it was surrounded by this fence, and so the workers had to go back in, climb the fence to go and feed these animals until someone could finally rescue them 3 months later.
What is he, Jeff Fisher?
I've heard stories about Jeff Fisher and animals yesterday.
I was going to say, weren't you guys talking about this yesterday?
I've heard,
Yeah, we
I've
were
heard
talking
through the
about
grapevine.
abandoning animals.
I've heard through the grapevine that you hate
I heard
animals.
from a number of people.
I bet you did.
A number of people.
I bet you did. Did you get a little
A
hassle?
little unhappy.
yeah.
A little unhappy.
Yeah. How dare you?
Next thing you know, now he's on a trajectory to try to impeach Donald Trump. I mean, that's what happens is, you
Yep.
hate animals, and the next thing you know,
You're
you're
impeaching
calling for the
Trump.
impeachment of the president. How dare you?
And I don't know if this helps, Pat, but he is not gay, to my understanding. He's married with 2 kids.
Yeah.
But
He's an
put
ally.
that there.
Okay. All right. How long's he been bald when using the
So that's the thing.
carpeting on his
once
head?
you said that yesterday, I went a little deep dive on his hair. That's his hair.
No, it's not.
Unless he's been using that forever since there's pictures of him. But his hair
Because that picture
always
at the
looked
Pride
like
Parade
that.
was a shorter version.
Yes. So he's always had a lot of hair like that. I just don't know if his
Guy's 70
implants-
years old. Come on.
Come on.
Come
Yeah,
on.
he's
That's
just-
my
How
father-in-law's
dare
80.
you grow
Nah,
hair at that age?
That's amazing.
My father-in-law's 80. He's got a head of hair like that too.
That's
Is it
true.
jet black?
Yeah,
Well, no,
it's-
it is
No,
not.
well,
It's
no,
full.
No.
Well, we didn't say he was coloring it. That's okay. That's different than
Yeah, that's different.
Yes,
That's
that is
different.
different.
You're right. All right. It takes a while sometimes to figure out that your mom is more than just the mom stuff she does. You know, the laundry, the cooking, and driving. You know, if you dig a little deeper, if you're not Jeff Fisher, you know that she does a ton and always has.
as expected.
Reward your mom this Mother's Day. Give her flowers. She deserves the best. And I'm sending my wife and the mother of my children flowers from Bouqs, Bouqs. In fact, they just arrived the other day, and they are beautiful. They arrived so carefully packaged, too, to make sure that nothing happens to them in shipping. I mean, there's netting on the buds. There's some of the flowers that need more water have self-contained, water
Nice.
on the stem. I mean, it's great.
Instead of arriving all
dead.
drizzled and dead.
Right, which is really disheartening.
It sure is.
Even if the company you order them from will replace them, it's still, come on, that sucks.
I
And you
know.
don't want to have to go through that. They go directly to the flower farms, and that's why, one of the reasons why, they last way longer than others that you could buy anywhere else. They even have flowers grown on the sides of volcanoes. Bouqs has modern designs, unique flowers that you can't find anywhere else. Bouqs is simple, too. You just go online, and I picked the delivery date, and I was done. Mother's Day is May 12th. It's a week from this Sunday, so don't miss your chance to thank your mom. Order your Bouqs now. And with 25% off, you can send some to mom, your wife, your aunt, your grandma, whoever in your life. Go to Bouqs.com. That's Bouqs. Bouqs.com. Use the promo code PAT to get 25% off. Bouqs.com, promo code PAT.
Now, more of Pat Gray Unleashed.
And Democrats, of course, love to protest every single thing that Donald Trump does.
What?
And, of course, when they protest, they like to sing
Oh, gosh.
because they're such good,
I love that
talented
part.
vocalists, And
Makes
they
you come around to their side.
Sure does.
I'm almost ready to.
Yeah.
Depending on how good this next song
Hold on.
is.
So
there.
you're on the fence right now.
Yeah.
You may end up a
could push me
liberal
over the edge.
Democrat, depending on how good this
Yes,
tune is.
I'm this close.
Okay.
So this is from a live stream they did Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know how we missed this,
I
but
hate that I missed this.
here it is.
If we build this world from love, yada da 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 yada da da, then God will build this world from love.
So, Pat, which side are you on now?
One more time.
Of God.
If we build this world from love, yada da 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 yada da da.
Why are we not seeing the guy?
God will build this world from
There he is.
love.
Jose Feliciano?
And he's got a pride scarf on and everything.
does.
Yada da.
Okay, hold on. Pause that. Back to that shot there. Cory
That's
Booker
awesome.
is not so sure he's on the right side still. If you got that,
Well, he just had a sit-in.
if
So
you had that same frame available. Anyway,
that is
but
priceless.
casual Hakeem Jeffries and
there we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Corey looked
That's
a little
awesome.
less than enthused.
So
So I'm
so
Come on now.
give me one more listen
Okay.
and watch.
If we build this world from love, yada-da-da-da, yada-da-da, then God will build this world from love.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
wait. If we build the world with love,
Okay.
then God will build the world with love?
It's just a song,
He's
Pat.
waiting on us.
It's just a
He's
song.
waiting on us.
Okay.
Pat.
God's waiting
He's
on
waiting on
us.
us to
He's
start
waiting
the
on
love
us.
process, and then
Yes.
he'll. Do I have that right? Then he'll continue it.
All right, so there's your ambassador for the left. Again, Pat Gray, we ask, have you decided which side of the fence you're on now?
Man, give me one more. I gotta see it one more
If
time.
we build this world from love, yada-da-da-da, yada-da-da.
Is that scat sing? What is he doing?
Then God will build this world from love.
Doesn't make sense at all.
Doesn't make. I'm sorry, I can't go with it. It
Oh,
just doesn't
no.
make any sense.
so
So
it's
it's so close.
It's
It's
no
just
longer
a song.
It's
So
no longer
close.
TBD. You've decided.
I've decided.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while, but
If we build this world from love,
from love,
I-
then God will build the world.
Yada-da-da-da, yada-da.
what is the yada die die die? Is that
That's a sign.
is he just scat singing or is that an actual lyric? What is he saying?
Yeah, it's just in between lyrics.
Yada-da-da-da, yada-da-da.
He can't think of any words
think,
there.
yeah, that's
so,
possible.
Cannot.
That's
so
very possible.
They
it's just
sound
yada
they
die.
always sound better in their heads.
I think if we only played it once, you might have been convinced.
I think
But
so
once
too.
you started reading more
yeah,
into
then I
it,
realized
yeah.
I realized it didn't make any
You asked
sense.
too many
and I couldn't-
questions.
Yeah.
couldn't go with it. That is really bizarre.
Just
Really, really bizarre and stupid.
Oh wow!
You're willing to call it stupid?
Who is that going to convince?
Yada die 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 die.
If we build this world with love, then God will build this world with love. Yada die, yada die, die. Whew. Doesn't make
wow.
Good stuff.
I have a feeling that you're convinced.
You think I'm there?
I think you are
you are.
convinced. I think you are.
I think you are.
Oh man, how do you go to something like that and think, "Yep, I'm on the right side.
Pat,
I am on the right side here."
How do you get invited to something like that?
Wow.
Like, who thought this guy is the guy we need to sing, do the interlude?
Who can we get to do a yada die da die 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 verse? Who?
Oh, I
Is
got a
there-
guy for you.
Oh,
I got
you
a guy.
do?
Yeah.
Is he Jewish? Hopefully.
Just
okay.
you know.
Yeah, I trust you.
Yeah.
I trust you
Well, he
completely.
can't be Jewish, Pat. Chill,
he can't
with
be
the
Jewish.
He cannot be Jewish.
That's why they got the Jose Feliciano lookalike.
Yeah, he cannot be Jewish.
Man. So one of the organizers of this get together was Cory Booker, and
Oh, so this was part of the sit-in.
Yes.
This next
this was Sunday then?
I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
so. Let me see. I got to see this clip again. It's
All
been 2 days since I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah?
And I want you all to know I miss Obama. I miss Obama.
This is
I miss Obama. I miss Obama, and I miss her husband too.
Bring on the yada 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 guy now.
Lucy,
My second favorite Obama on the phone. It was President Barack Obama.
you got some splat
And he was in the Oval Office, and it was a beautiful call.
Yeah, we don't care about your call.
I know.
Obama.
It was a,
He thought we cared. No, we're waiting for
No,
the yada
we
yada
don't
guy.
care.
Shut up.
Bring him up because that's going to be the hit of the event.
Yeah.
It really is.
If we build this world from love, yada-da-da-da, yada-da-da, then
so
God will
bad.
build this world from love.
From love.
He must have made it up right on the spot. Don't you
who
think?
is that guy? I gotta
He
know
didn't
who
have
this
that
guy is.
planned
Are you
because
gonna Google yada da guy?
I am.
Good luck.
I am.
So here's the Obama that he misses so much.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he misses her husband too, but mostly this one.
Is it?
Couldn't be. We couldn't walk around saying
Talking about
valedictorian, straight A student, speaks excellent, has excellent diction if you give them a chance. We knew very early on that no one was going to see beyond the color of our skin at an early age.
Oh my gosh.
And that could get you in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk about that fear, I'm sure that fear has been tested across your life in so many different places. And I wonder, what would you say has been the most hardest recent test of that fear? Because it's not one of those fears that you kind of get over and it just goes away.
Well, you need
to.
It kind of shows its head
fear.
in many different ways, I imagine.
Well, in this current climate for me, it's what's happening to immigrants. So it's not the fear it's for myself anymore. I drive around in a 4-car motorcade with a police escort.
Yeah, positive.
And
let's not forget the multi-million-dollar homes you have in 4 incredibly affluent, wealthy areas. Let's not forget that. It's not just the driving around with the Secret Service. It's where you live, how much you can afford. I mean...
And instead of saying, look, I made it, you can too.
You can too. Yeah, and just be an inspiration for others.
Nope.
But no.
And Jay said he's smarter than that. I like Jay, and this is his podcast on purpose. And he just lets her babble.
Is he normally not liberal or?
No, I mean he's a monk. He used to be a monk. He used to be a monk, live on purpose. He spent some time. I mean, I like Jay. And his podcast is monstrous. It's good for Michelle to be on this show. Try to save her podcast.
All right. There was more.
My daughters in the world, even though they are somewhat recognizable. So my fears are for what I know is happening out there in streets all over the city. And now that we have leadership that is sort of indiscriminately determining who belongs and who doesn't. And we know that those decisions aren't being made with courts and with due process and, that it's being made like this cop that pulled my brother over when he was 12. You don't look like somebody that belongs. I can determine just by looking at you that you're a good person or you're not a good
the victim,
person.
No matter what.
And knowing that there's so much bias and so much racism and so much ignorance that fuels those kind of choices. I worry for people of color all over this country. And I don't know that we will have the advocates to protect everybody. And that frightens me.
Does it?
It keeps me up at night. Okay. And I know that I see that when I'm driving around LA, I'm just looking in the faces of folks who could be victim. And I'm wondering, how are you feeling? How do you feel standing on the bus stop? How do you feel comfortable going to work, going to school?
This permeates her life.
It sure does.
This overtakes and overwhelms everything she is and does. She just told us she's continually thinking about the victims.
Yeah.
What kind of mindset is that? How would you like to go through life like that? Hey, maybe if you change your mindset just a little bit, it might be a little more positive experience for you. And maybe you'll realize that not everybody's a victim. And maybe you'll realize that we've come a really long way in this country as far as race is concerned. In fact, I think we had it really under control until Barack Obama was elected.
Yes.
And you had these two buffoons to set the example for everybody and complain and whine about victimhood the whole time.
Yep.
All 8 years.
How the education, where she started with, she knew that she couldn't, if she'd get in trouble if she talked right, had the right diction. She went to private schools.
Yeah. Well, she went to Ivy League schools.
At universities, but in high schools as well.
Yeah. I know.
Come on.
Wow. That kind of victimhood,
just
a little bit different than others.
And I will say, I know that she was out hawking her podcast, but once again, just with her brother.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. She had more. I don't know if we can get through it.
When you know that there could be people out here judging you and who could upend your life in a second.
Why don't you just live your life and see what happens?
That's who I worry for right now.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay.
Good. So bad. Oh, these people. They're just, it's an effort to keep them oppressed. It's an effort to keep them with that victimized mentality because you're never going to escape it as long as you keep being hammered down with it.
Yeah.
It is she who is lowering the ceiling for him.
As much as I can't stand to hear her speak, she can do that every day if she doesn't run for president.
Yeah, that's true.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Thank you. I'm here all day. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We have discovered something amazing. The rabbi that was singing at the sit-in on Sunday, that was not made up on the spot. That blows me away.
Amazing.
That is incredible. It's Olam Chesed Yabana. And it goes like this. I will build this world from love. Yada die, 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 die. And you must build this world from love. Yada die stuff. And if we build this world from love, yada die, 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 then God will build this world from love.
From love.
Yeah.
Why not with love?
Yeah.
Why is it from love?
It's weird.
What a stupid song.
It's just...
Everything about it is pissing me off now.
I know. I can't believe this was not made up on the spot.
I know. I've made up better songs than this on the spot for my dogs. Honestly, I'm getting ready to feed them supper, and I'm making up songs that are 10 times better than this garbage.
But Jeffy's got a dance version that we'll play. It's
an extended version, another angle.
Yeah. So it'll be good.
Version.
It's the one they play at discos and rave parties and things.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it'll be good.
Okay.
We'll get to that as soon as we can. Another Democrat, though, not happy with Donald Trump's presidency. Gosh, I hate it when they're just not pleased. It's disturbing when they're unhappy. And they're perpetually unhappy. But Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker had this to say the other day.
In the times upon which history turns. Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
Oh, shut up.
Read it.
They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
Okay, he's inciting violence here, essentially. Here's what Stephen Miller had to say about these asinine comments.
Stephen, Illinois Governor Pritzker just called for mass protests and disruption, saying Republicans cannot know peace, while Trump's border crossings are down 95% and ICE is locking up 800 criminals. Is Pritzker inciting insurrection, and will DOJ take action?
Well, what I would say is that his comments, if nothing else, clearly could be construed as inciting violence. So President Trump survived 2 assassination attempts against his life. Of course, there's been many more credible threats against President Trump and his family and associates. We've, of course, seen the spate of left-wing domestic terrorism all across this country. By the way, the destruction of property sits directly adjacent to attacks on humans and physical attacks. In other words, once you tolerate and once you allow for attacks on property, you're just a step away from people throwing Molotov cocktails into people's homes. And you've even seen some, I think one example of a formerly prominent Washington Post journalist who seemed to be celebrating the murder of a healthcare CEO, right? Health insurance CEO.
They love murderers now.
And that's the point we've reached in this country, where people are engaging in rhetoric and behavior that puts the lives of public servants in danger, puts the lives of conservative Americans in danger. And so that's the first thing I would say. And then, of course, secondly, right, just this war that Democrat governors and mayors are waging against federal law enforcement.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
not
nullificationist behavior. This is secessionist behavior. Where this thing, they don't recognize the supremacy of federal law enforcement in terms of protecting the lives and livelihoods of American citizens against a foreign invasion.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like it.
Despicable.
And of course, the result of their conduct is that they're allowing illegal aliens to go free and rape and murder their own citizens. So I can't imagine having a leader in a city or a state that would privilege the well-being of illegal alien murderers over their own citizens, but that's where we are right now.
That's where we are right now. That's where we are.
That's for sure.
We are also up to the point where Jeff Fisher does chewing the fat.
His moves are great for the athletically overweight. No fat shaming here, the promise is sincere. He definitely didn't cheat in that armadillo race. He just encouraged the deal, pick up the pace. He may be round, but the F is flat. So have a seat, let's chew the fat.
Awesome. Just a FYI, it seems like time is moving faster and faster. Tomorrow, May 1st. It's already, April is already over.
Oh.
Done with, gone, goodbye. 5/1/2025. So just FYI. Variety Wholesalers has brought Big Lots back from the brink. Just when you thought that they were dead, nope, they're not.
Well, yeah, the one in our area is closing.
That's correct.
Are they gonna reopen it?
They're bringing some back to life. They're bringing right now this month. They're adding an additional 132 Big Lots to locations around the country. I think it's 14 states, and they opened 9 stores last month.
How weird is that?
I know.
As they're going bankrupt, closing stores.
I know.
They're building new ones.
But this company, this Variety Wholesalers is opening the stores that were already there. They purchased them. So they purchased. They had Big Lots. I think they had like 500 stores, something like that, and over 300 were just completely shut down. But this company, Variety Wholesalers, bought a bunch of them.
All right.
And is opening back up. So just when you thought they were dead, nope, they're back. So, you'll be able to see some Big Lots around.
Okay. What a relief.
Did a lot of shopping.
What a relief.
That's Pat's go-to.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Big Lots.
There. Me too. Me too. There all the time.
I know you're looking down your nose at the Big Lots people.
No.
Yeah, I feel like you are.
No, I am not. No,
I feel like you
not.
are.
No.
Okay. All right.
Love it. Love the Big Lots.
I feel like that's not true. So out of the 140 executive orders President Trump has signed in his first 100 days, now 101, this one is for truckers. And no one supports truckers more than myself in chewing the fat. And this, I think I like it. Caroline Leavitt had this to say about the executive order on
20, clip
truckers.
20.
And it sounded a little something like this.
And then the third executive order, which actually speaks to the heart of your question earlier about the Uber drivers, will be a order directing the Department of Transportation to include English literacy tests for our truckers. This is a big problem in the trucking community that, unless you're in that community, you might not know. But there's a lot of communication problems between truckers on the road with federal officials and local officials as well, which obviously is a public safety risk. So we're going to ensure that our truckers, who are the backbone of our economy, are all able to speak English. That's a very common sense policy in the United States of America. So the president will be signing that later this afternoon.
So, and that was, of course, yesterday. So we've seen videos as of late, a bunch of videos making, at least through my algorithm, of truckers getting in accidents and having to deal with police and other authorities and that don't speak English. And
the authorities.
Very, very frustrating for all involved. So how about we speak a little bit of English?
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb.
It's the truckers that many don't speak English, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way it sounded was the authorities.
I can't help the way it sounded to you. But I'm just
you
saying
actually could, but you didn't.
It's truckers. So, and then since speaking of Trump, Donald Trump yesterday had an interview with Terry Moran from ABC News.
It's pronounced Moran. I thought it was moron.
Okay.
Right.
I think Trump thought it was moron, too.
Yeah, I think he did.
But the president seems to suggest, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this headline in the story that says he appeared to suggest that an edited photo depicting tattoos of Kilmar Abrego Garcia was the real deal. But this is, holy cow,
Oh, boy.
very frustrating.
Oh, golly.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
But
over
wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattoos.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop?
Well, here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir. I want to get to Ukraine.
No. I know. MS, as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't
Take a look
there,
at the
but
photograph.
they're there now, right?
No,
but
they're in
now.
your picture.
Terry.
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
We'll take a look.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
Wow.
I don't know how.
Wow.
That's not good.
I don't know. So this is the picture that he's talking about.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
Someone didn't tell him. That's the interpretation of the actual
tattoos.
And so he hammered that home.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
No. And then with the other...
And Moran tried to let him off the hook.
I know.
Let's move on. Let's move on. And he wouldn't.
I know. And then one of the things that they referenced was the picture when he was in El Salvador, when the congressman was in El Salvador, where he looks like he doesn't have the tattoos on his hand, which I think that picture was also photoshopped, to be honest. But,
Right, they blurred out everything on that.
Go back to the hand
So
picture.
so the White House or somebody put those on there for
underneath.
the display.
That's what's actually on his hand.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
They've got the marijuana plant, the smiley face or whatever, the cross, and the skull. That's actually
stands for MS-13.
It can, in some cases, apparently, there's a dispute on whether or not it even stands for that.
Wow.
But so they wrote MS-13 on top of that to show you what it supposedly stood for.
Right.
How it's interpreted. And at least Terry gave him that. Said, yeah, some can interpret it that way. And
tried to move on,
accurate.
tried to get out of there.
Yeah. Ooh. That's a tough one.
So I don't know.
That's a tough one.
I mean, whoever showed President Trump the picture and didn't say,
oh my gosh,
we added this.
Yeah.
They should have made it very bright and yellow or something.
He's
really
out.
Something to make sure that we know it wasn't actually on his hand. Oof.
I know.
That's a tough one.
That is a very tough one.
Yeah, the printer is out at the White House now.
Yeah, hopefully. Wow. All right. Let me take a minute and share some big news from Blaze TV. We're excited to officially welcome Nicole Shanahan and her show Back to the People to the Blaze family. Nicole's a Silicon Valley attorney, entrepreneur, and advocate who spent years fighting for transparency and freedom and real change. She's been a major voice in the MAHA movement, and she's worked alongside RFK Jr. to push for a government that actually works for the people, not the other way around. Nicole's journey doesn't stop there. After years in the tech world, she experienced a powerful personal transformation that led her to rediscover a deep connection to her faith. So that perspective shapes everything she does now. On her brand new Blaze TV show, Back to the People, Nicole digs into the conversations that mainstream media ignores. She brings together experts and activists and everyday people to tackle tough issues, share untold stories, and find real solutions rooted in truth and humanity. It's all about bringing gaps, fostering. It's about bridging gaps, not bringing them. That would be silly. We don't want to bring gaps.
No,
we
we
want
wanna
to bridge
bridge them.
those gaps, fostering real understanding and helping you connect with the world in a deeper, more meaningful way. And you can get a sneak peek of Nicole before she hits Blaze TV on her YouTube at Nicole Shanahan. So that's youtube.com/Nicole Shanahan, or just type in her name in the search bar and it'll come up. So we'd like to welcome Nicole to the Blaze TV family. We're excited to have you. More now of Chewing the Fat.
All right, awesome. Be sure to subscribe to my show as well, Chewing the Fat, with Jeff Fisher on the Blaze Podcast Network.
Yeah, but do you bring the gap or do you bridge the gap? That's what I want to know.
Some people would say that I bring the gap.
Okay.
That I bring
all right.
the gap.
So Jeffy's going to, Nicole is bridging the gap.
I'm bringing.
Jeffy's bringing it.
Chewing the Fat.
All right.
The Washington Commanders might get to go home and go back to the currently crumbling RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. That's how the franchise hopes it's going to happen. Mayor Bowser and team owner Josh Harris announced a $3.7 billion deal to bring the sports team back to RFK. It's going to be the single largest private investment in D.C.'s history. Could be a legacy making for both of them, no kidding. The proposed new development will span 177 acres, would include housing, retail, park spaces, centered around a brand new 65,000-seat domed stadium, which would enable the space to potentially host the Super Bowl.
Are they going to bring down RFK first and then build it on that spot?
Probably. I don't know.
Because that's what it kind of seems like, that they're bringing it back to RFK. But they're not going to use RFK Stadium.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean, they'll use a couple of bricks so they can say, yeah, it's still RFK.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they've done in Chicago forever, right? Chicago has the columns or whatever, and it's the same stadium.
Yeah.
Not really. The Commanders said they're going to pledge $2.7 billion for the new development, and taxpayers are on the hook for about $1 billion if it passes. They're just going to extend the ballpark fee tax.
You throw that out
already
like it's
there.
nothing. Taxpayers are really on the hook for $1 billion.
They're already paying the ballpark fee. Okay, this is going to extend it. It's already there.
All right,
you're not raising taxes. It's
you should work for a school district. I'm not raising your taxes. This is a bond issue. That's all this is. It's not really costing you any money.
The ballpark fee they're already paying for. It's already locked in.
You're already paying property taxes. This is just we're just adding on to that a bit.
We're going to let it go for a little bit longer just to pay for this new deal.
All righty.
So, no problem. There's plenty of people that have been quite outspoken about not making it happen.
I bet.
So we'll see. Good luck. People, I mean, they voted down the Kansas City deal not long ago to help them get new stadiums, and cities and municipalities are a little hesitant.
Well, they should be. I'm sorry.
Paying for the stadium.
The billionaires should pay for their own stupid stadium. All right?
I
Build
agree,
your own
but-
stadium.
Well, he's putting in some money.
Some. Yeah, he is.
He's putting in
Good
over.
for him.
I put in 2.7.
Well, then build a $2.7 billion stadium.
I would love to, but it won't help the people as much as the $3.7 billion stadium
Sure.
will.
All right. I'm sure that's the argument.
Is it going to have that dome you crave?
It's a dome. Yeah, it should be. That should be a law for any new stadium built.
No, it should
We've
not,
covered
but
that before.
we have covered
and it's been, the Buffalo Bills have broken that law by building a new stadium in 2025 without a dome in Buffalo. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Dumbest thing.
But we love snow games, so we're going to let that go.
We do. Oh, except when it snows too much, and then we have to move the game to a domed stadium. Except when that happens. Yeah. Okay.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Got a few tweets here.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah. It's great to be seen. Thank you. The Night Wolf has a little tweet here. Big Mike is so oppressed, he lives in a beachfront mansion surrounded by white neighbors.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
And again, there's only 4 mansions like that where Big Mike lives. Stationed all over the United States of America. From Washington, D.C. to Hawaii.
And look, she even said she travels in a motorcade. So
Yeah. She at least gave us that little nugget.
When I'm in my motorcade driving by the bus stop, I think, oh, how do they do it?
How do they do it? So hold on, it's interesting. So they have a big house in D.C.
Yeah,
they're in Cape Cod, right?
Martha's Vineyard.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Chicago,
Hawaii.
Isn't one in Los Angeles too?
I think they used to rent a place in L.A. I don't know if I don't think they were going to buy a place. I don't know if they ever did purchase that place.
If there's one in L.A., that makes 5.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
It's possible though that they did, because that's where the daughters live.
Had they not been oppressed like this, maybe they'd own 10.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Right? I I mean, maybe
that's what she's saying.
I kind of want to be oppressed now.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I mean, Steph, she grew up.
Who are you talking about?
She
You keep saying she. I'm trying to figure this one out.
Michelle, Barack's wife.
Big
still.
Mike. Yeah.
Barely. She was born when, in 1960? Something like that?
I'll look it up.
In there somewhere.
Yeah. That's not the Deep South in the 40s.
No.
I mean,
yeah, 1964 in Chicago.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Stop it with the oppression.
From Pre-King Pathead, the newly opening Big Lots store will have all new and improved junk for sale.
Whoa. What is that?
That's fighting words.
Did you just said that in yourself?
I didn't say that.
Wow. Okay.
It's great.
Not really.
All right. So, I just have to say this because I guess we're never supposed to say anything non-worshipful of the President of the United States. Okay, but when he is in the wrong, we're going to say it. And if you don't, you're dishonest. Okay, we've praised this guy up one side and down the other.
Still do.
For years and still do and are still going to. But when he's dead flat wrong and he sticks to it like that and berates the interviewer, there's a problem there. It's making it harder on him. It's not harder for me. Well, it is. Yes, it's harder for all of us who support him. He should have known that those letters were not really there on the guy's hand.
And okay, so
should have known that.
And absolutely.
And that he stuck to it so hard for so long and pounded that home shows he doesn't know that was Photoshop.
Yeah.
That was a representation of what he had on his hand there. And I don't know how you try to excuse that. It's not okay.
And when he originally held that up in the White House, there was some talk online, and at that moment, his staff should have told him, hey, by the way, just so you know, in case it comes up again, those were superimposed.
How is that possible that didn't
nobody
happen?
told him
I
that,
know.
yeah.
I don't know how that's
How is it possible? Somebody should be fired, for sure.
Yes.
Or a series of people should be fired.
However that happened.
For not letting him know that that's a representation of those letters, Mr. President. They're not actually there. Okay? So that's a real disservice to him. And what he's trying to do here, and it's hard enough when he's in the right because he's being hammered even for that stuff.
Right.
He's being hammered for everything. So you want to avoid being radically wrong on an issue like that and defending it so hard. And we're not saying we don't support him. I do.
Right.
We do and have and will continue to. But you can't just sweep it under the rug and say, okay, he's never done anything wrong. I'm sorry, we don't play that game. We're not going to play that game. Now, the president has been polling really well on how he's handling the border. Some of the other things he's got some issues with because there's a little bit of pain. He talked about this. There's going to be pain before it gets an awful lot better. And I think this could lead to the golden age of America. But we're going to have to be patient. And that's not one of our strong suits.
It feels like it could.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does feel like it could. With it, once we get to the other side of it.
Yeah, I want to look. I want to be able to look back at this period of people freaking out about the stock market and tariffs and all sorts of stuff, and be like, "Man, remember when everybody was panicking? And boy, look at us now." I truly feel that we're going to do that one day.
Yeah, I do too. But in the first 100 days, which ended yesterday, we're on day 101 now. There have been 142 executive orders. He's taken 106 questions. It seems like way more than that.
Yeah, it sure does.
What?
106
He's
questions?
taken thousands of questions.
What are we talking about?
Is that just in a formal setting? Is that what we're talking about there? I don't know, because
we don't count the walk to the helicopter or the walk to the plane.
Because he's taken multiple.
Oh my God!
And this doesn't even count interviews, I'm guessing, either, right? Because he sits down and answers like 10 in those.
26 American hostages released. Wow, that's really good. Foreign and private investments, just $5 trillion so far.
Yeah, those keep coming.
$5 trillion. Doge savings, $160 billion. And ICE deportations, 65,682. And they're trying to speed that number up, but the problem is
it's getting stopped at every turn.
The judiciary
has
stopped them and paused that.
The thing that's helped is that they've almost shut the border down, both Mexico and Canada. So I mean, we've gone from 10 to 20,000 a day to maybe 200, maybe.
Yeah.
Trying to come across the border.
Yeah, it's gone from multiple thousands, tens of thousands in some cases, to a couple hundred.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yes.
Really, the job that he has done so far.
Yeah, and that's against all odds, against the media.
That's completely against him.
Correct.
And they're hammering him. And that's why... Again, if I could emphasize this, that's why it matters to us that he stuck to this so hard with that interview. Because it's already hard enough with the media completely set against him. And then when you give him an actual legitimate problem like that, it makes it worse.
Look at this.
I mean, look at the media coverage of the guy. It's amazing that he has an approval rating at all because they've hammered him so hard.
92% negative from NBC, ABC,
Unreal.
CBS.
Wow.
And then at the same time, Biden during this era...
59% positive.
I feel like that's a low number.
Yeah, I do too.
Sure do, yeah.
Yeah. Is that during the first 100 days?
It said January 20th to April 9th.
Okay.
So however many that is, a couple of months. 2.5 months.
Fox News poll just showed him with an approval rating of 44%. So it's, and Fox has been, they haven't been super, super friendly to him in the polls. So for them to show 44%, that's pretty good. That's a lot better than 39 that some other polls are showing. By the way, Stephen Miller appeared on Fox News.
Uh-oh.
Love this guy.
Uh-oh. Did he have something?
It is our opinion that Fox News needs to fire his pollster. I won't surprise you with that. I don't think you're surprised that I'm saying that. But the Fox News pollster has always been wrong about President Trump. They were the ones that said all summer long that Kamala Harris was going to be the 47th president of the United States. So we don't acknowledge any of that polling.
Look, man, everybody needs a Stephen Miller talking for him.
I love that guy.
Man, he's fantastic. He really is good.
I would just love to drive around my appointments like during the day or whatever and I have an issue. Just like, you know what? Steven's going to handle this. Look, we think your diagnosis is incorrect. You're a quack.
We're going to take away your license.
Mr. Malinak wants to buy this new truck. The price is clearly incorrectly marked. And we're not leaving here until we get the price that he is asking for. I mean, I would love to have him just follow me around.
No kidding.
I think you should fire your pricer. That's what needs to happen.
Also, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has been great, too. And
he sure has.
Here he is talking about the tax bill in Congress.
The tax bill is going much better than I would have thought when I took office on January 28th. And that's through President Trump's leadership. That Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune are united. Speaker Johnson, we had a very good meeting yesterday with something called the Big Six. NEC Director Kevin Hassett, myself, Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, Committee Chairman Jason Smith, and Senator Crapo. And the tax bill is moving forward. It is going to give permanence to the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act, which will, back to the question on certainty, it will give American business certainty, it will give American people certainty.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't want my taxes going up. That's part of that big, beautiful bill.
Right.
Locking those in. Yeah. By the way, Lutnick yesterday, Commerce, right? He said that a deal is done, but they don't want to announce it yet because it just has to pass the parliament of this country and the prime minister. So I don't know if that's Britain. I don't know if that's India. I don't know, but it's one of those countries.
Well, India's got some problems, too. I mean, they're dealing with the tariffs with us, but they're dealing with the sweater land.
Yeah,
about ready to
Kashmir.
go to war. Yeah, Kashmir.
Yeah, we played on overtime yesterday. We played that creepy video of the guy doing the zip line and the terrorist attack happening down on the ground below. It's not good, man. And that's what you need. You need India and Pakistan going at each other.
I know.
It's not a good.
Yeah, not good. I mean, we've already got enough problems going on, right?
No kidding.
Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Hamas. Now you're going to get India and Pakistan. And by the way, Pakistan is going to be hit by really high temperatures this week, they say. 120. 120 in May? That's a little soon.
Climate change.
So, of course.
Oh, no.
Yep. The global warming hysteria has already kicked into high gear. Yep. Every single time.
People are suffering. People are dying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not yet, but later in the week.
So they have to go through this whole thing every single time there's a hot temperature on the planet anywhere and go over the global warming garbage. You know, of course, the phrase, don't confuse weather with climate means absolutely nothing to the left now. Every single weather event is yet another positive confirmation of their global warming climate change hysteria. And the beauty of this hoax is that when it gets unusually cold, that also proves their point.
That's helpful.
They literally have it both ways on this. And, you know, as a last resort to their argument, all they have to do is claim consensus. It's settled science. And just like that, just simply because they've mentioned the words, that makes it so. And anybody who dares challenge their insane, provably false premise is a climate denier, and nobody wants to be a denier of any kind. So they've brilliantly hijacked this issue. And so, yeah, it's going to be hot, but it gets hot sometimes.
And records are made to be broken, let's not forget.
And they're broken all the time.
And we've got the town of Sucker, Pakistan, 121 today.
121 today for
Larkana,
the high. Okay.
Pakistan, 123.
120, okay.
So you guys enjoy that. Maybe you should stop attacking other countries.
That's a tad warm.
Does it say what the average is for this time of year?
That's a
probably
good question.
Just a touch above the average, I'm guessing.
I bet you the average is probably 100.
Well, we're about to find out.
Are we?
I hope.
Average.
We're about to perhaps find out.
Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
AI says 88.
Ooh.
Like I said, about 100.
We're about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little higher, maybe.
All right. Well, I mean, look, it's a heat wave.
What's 40 degrees among friends? You know what I mean?
Burning in my
The
heart.
damn climate change. It's kicking into gear.
Thank you.
Wow. That's hot. Yeah, that's not good.
Plus, we're believing what AI tells us. Okay.
Yeah, right.
AI also says, Sucker, Pakistan, average April is 102.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Their
That's a
average
little
May
closer.
is 110. I mean, we're practically in May. It's like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
weather.
tomorrow's May.
This is what happens.
Yeah, it's weather.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's weather. Right, it's weather.
It's weather.
Weather happens.
I would say not my problem, but I live in Texas, and I know in about 3 weeks.
The sun is moving closer.
Gonna
It's,
be my
it's coming
problem.
from Pakistan to here.
It moves from 93 million miles away to 3 miles away in the summer in Texas.
It's just it's moving over Pakistan now.
So brutal. I just hate it.
Yep.
Oh, man. All right. You know what? One thing you can count on in these turbulent times is that there will never be tariffs on your delicious Kexi cookies because they're made right here in America. They don't come from China. They don't come from, Guatemala. They come from Texas.
So are we going to see a tariff line on our checkout that says
You will not.
0?
Well, you could. I mean, that's possible. But
Tariff charge from Kexi.
0. And you're welcome. But these are really, honestly, I can say this because it's true. They're the best cookies on earth. They really are. And Mother's Day is next weekend, which means time's running out to get your order in. Orders have to be placed by May 3rd to ensure that they're there by Mother's Day. Now, if you order after that, they still might get there, but you can't
We're not
guarantee
guaranteeing it.
But we still have a few of the Mother's Day boxes left, but they're moving fast, so you better get in on this now. Here's what Ed said about these Kexi cookies. The family is now spread out across the country. We used to order treats for each other through Amazon, we now exclusively send each other cookies from your company.
Nice.
Best ever cookies. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. And again, you're only saying that because it's true. So I appreciate it. Seriously, give them a try for yourself and see what you think. Kexi, K-E-K-S-I, Kexi.com.
Call us at 888-900-3393. Pat Gray Unleashed will return.
Great to have you with us. Got some tweets here. Escalated thought criminal tweets, if Washington
the bleepskins. Yeah, you can't say that. I mean,
no, you can't
say redskins.
The word red, not with skins after it. You can't. So the Washington bleepskins are redeveloping RFK Stadium. Will the new venue be called RFK Jr.? Yeah.
I would be surprised if it's called like Redskin Field or something, or they use the Redskin logo.
Oh, I'd be very surprised.
I think they're bringing the logo back.
Yeah, they're bringing the logo back. Yeah.
What? With the Commanders?
Yeah.
Or are they going to change
I think
Commanders?
they're going to change Commanders.
Because that's really stupid.
Oh, I don't know. The now that Daniels is there, that he's made the Commanders worthy, but they're going to use the logo. I believe that's coming back.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. You got to bring the name back if you're going to bring the logo back.
Commanders. They're
that doesn't make sense.
Warriors or something.
Yeah. Uniparty monger. If you could afford $1 million salaries, you could afford to build your own damn stadium. That's yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I understand that thought process, but look, you're already paying the ballpark fee.
No.
It's already being paid.
I don't care.
It's already being paid. And why do you want it to go away next year? You don't. Just continue to pay for it.
Okay. That's great logic, Jeffy. That's great logic.
That's NFL logic, I'll tell you.
Fat Lump of Goo tweets, well, at least we know Jeffy will never have tattoos on its cloven hooves. we all know Jeffy will never have tattoos on its cloven hooves.
It's cloven hooves.
I'm not sure what that means.
Not sure about the pronoun usage.
Take your shoes off. Let's see what's going on down there.
He's got a thing on his feet. He's never going to take his shoes off.
They will never have tattoos.
That won't
happen.
That will not happen. Sarah the Band tweets, Kansas City voted down the downtown stadium because we aren't going to pay for a losing team.
Whoa, wait.
Is that the Royals?
I guess so.
Must be the Royals.
It must be, because I was
the
thinking.
whole complex.
Right. Wait.
If you got a problem with the Chiefs,
it was about the whole complex.
Not to mention our downtown isn't set up for a downtown stadium. Our mayor is a dumbass who doesn't think anything through. Okay. That's fun. That's fun. All right. So the controversy continues in sports with Shedeur Sanders and what happened there. Was it racism that caused him to fall from the first round in the NFL draft all the way to the fifth round?
That's the only thing it can be, right?
That's the only thing it can be, because goodness knows hardly any black men
white guy
get drafted in the NFL.
The white guy that got punked like that we don't count that.
Right. And we also don't count. So that was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another black guy, for what it's worth, punked this year as well. That's not making.
No, you're talking about the prank phone calls?
Yeah. Isaiah Bond got punked this year, and then last year it was DeJean. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. The guy for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this happens.
I felt bad for Shedeur because he's fallen down the draft list for a lot. I mean, he's in total free fall. And then somebody calls him and pranks him and says that they're from the Saints and he's just been selected. And then, you're going to have to wait. And then they hung up on him.
Yeah.
And that's really uncool.
Yeah.
Felt bad for him.
I do.
I felt bad.
It is.
I mean, he's still going to make millions.
I mean, it's an epic prank.
I know.
Let's give credit to that.
It sure is. It's not nice.
It turned out to be the son of a coach.
Son of a defensive coordinator for the Falcons.
With the Falcons.
And that's why he called and said it's the Saints. And so as soon as I heard that, I thought, I bet this is connected to the Falcons somehow, even if it's just a fan.
And sure enough.
But it turned out that the iPad that was left open by the Falcons defensive coordinator, yes, it had Shedeur Sanders' phone number in it, but now I'm reading that in that they distribute the phone numbers for the agents.
Well, they
but
distribute
since you're
who
acting
to
as
contact.
your own agent,
Right. Correct.
that's why that phone number was in the contacts for NFL
so
teams.
If, you make the case that if he had an agent, wouldn't happen.
Correct.
So, I mean...
So it's really his fault. It's really...
Right.
Really
He pranked
himself.
See?
Yeah, you had it coming. If you didn't get an agent, you had it coming.
Yeah.
So... Well, Eric Keith wrote, the NFL draft brings out a strange mix of emotions for me. The joy of seeing young brothers realize their dream and the sadness of watching them being treated like commodities. Stop it.
Here we go.
Shedeur Sanders' draft experience was a reminder that in America, black confidence is still seen as a threat. Really? Was there no other black man that was confident in this draft that got drafted?
Not a one.
Where everybody
Not a
thought
one.
he was going to. Not a single one.
Not a one.
What is it? It's 70 or 75% of the NFL is black. So don't try to tell me this is a racial issue, but that's what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and if you don't want to be treated like a commodity, then don't declare for the NFL draft where you're expected to be treated like a commodity.
Right.
And they treat all of them like commodities.
They sure do.
Black, white, whatever.
They sure do.
It doesn't matter. You are a commodity in the NFL. I mean, they're going to pay you to play. What is that? I don't know. It seems like you're a commodity, right? And if you don't want to do that, don't play football. Don't play NFL football, and don't play college football because you're a commodity there now, too. So it's tough to get around that little aspect of it. But he continued, his talent, charisma, and legacy weren't enough to shield him from being humbled. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because he stood tall in who he is. All right. This isn't about arrogance. It's about a different kind of confidence, one that walks, talks, and breathes differently, one that has always made this country uncomfortable. It's black confidence, and it's powerful. Okay. So you made it a racial issue, even, when, again, so much of the NFL is black. The coaches, the players.
Green Bay, Wisconsin had hundreds of thousands of people there to celebrate the NFL draft.
In 3 days, 600,000
draftees, the commodities that are going to be drafted to NFL teams.
Yep.
And when the black ones came out, they didn't clap.
I noticed that.
No, they
did.
did.
They didn't cheer at all.
Actually, that was rude.
Did.
Everybody was like, hey, wait, why aren't they cheering?
Don't clap for that dude.
No.
He's black.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's insane.
It is.
I know.
It is. To make this a racial issue, you're trying too hard. 888-900-3393. More coming up.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Oh, boy. The Danes. The darn Danes.
What now?
Yeah, they're boycotting Coke.
Okay.
Coca-Cola, not cocaine. I'm sure they're doing cocaine just as much as they ever have. But they're boycotting an American product to show us, I guess, that, we can't have Greenland? Something.
So they're not going to drink Coca-Cola because they think we can't have Greenland?
You got us.
Yeah, you got us. Oh, no. Now we're hurt.
I got news for you. Greenland's already ours. I don't know why you're hung up on this, Danes.
But they are. They are. Apparently, the repeated threats by President Trump to take the Danish territory of Greenland, potentially by force, have angered many Danes. Oh, no. You hate to see that, don't you?
You do.
If there's one thing you don't want, it's the
angry Dane
to be upset with you in any way.
Right, because they are known for punching above their weight, and you don't want to mess with them.
Right. Vice President J.D. Vance has accused Denmark of not being a good ally, despite the fact that Danish forces fought alongside U.S. troops, according to the article, in Afghanistan and elsewhere. Yeah, the Danes were there in force.
And we appreciate you sending your dozen troops to us.
We do. But one official said Danes are pissed off. You know what? Tough.
Okay. That's your response. One letter. Okay.
They remember those Danish soldiers' bodies coming home. Really?
Come on.
How many? And they feel disrespected now. You can see why calls for a boycott of U.S. goods would be popular.
I can't, though.
No, I can't.
Oh.
How many times have we saved your rectums over there? How many German assaults have we saved you from over there?
I mean, I'm sorry that your soldiers died.
Yeah,
I don't want that for anyone.
No.
Correct.
Which is why we don't have to take Greenland by force. We're just planting a flag. We're going to drink a Coke and tell you that it's ours.
And smile. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to see what you're going to do about it. Because
it's not going to be
nothing.
Nothing.
So, in Daneland, they're upset with us.
No.
Oh,
that hurts.
No.
That hurts. I know. I believe you started the segment with "You hate to see it."
Hey, you do hate to see it, don't you?
You do.
I did start it. Shoot. We should end it that way, too.
You hate to see it.
You really, really do. Am I the only one that gets Danes and Dutch mixed up? They
all the
seem
time.
Like
I thought they're not the same thing?
They're not the same thing.
Wait, what?
No.
So, and the Netherlands. The Netherlands is separate from the Dutches and the Danes?
It's separate from the Dutch because the Dutch is... no, it is the same as Dutch. Yeah. The Netherlands is Holland.
Okay.
Or it used to be.
Yes.
And now...
See, you got to pick one and just go with it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be the... what is it? The Stanford Cardinal and have the tree as a mascot. You just got to pick one, right? You can't have War Eagle at Auburn and say, go Tigers.
Yeah, if you're
got to pick one.
If you're going to have a tree, call yourself the Redwoods. Or the Redwood. Because they apparently can't go with plural cardinals.
Right.
It's cardinal.
Yeah, that pisses me off. That's
stupid.
That's where the S from Peoples needs to go land. Yes. Over at the Stanford Cardinals.
Right. What, did you run out of consonants there? Let us help you. Here's an S. It's on us. Go ahead and take it.
They probably legally can't, though, right?
Why?
Because of
the
Cardinals.
Phoenix Cardinals.
Arizona,
At the time, Arizona Cardinals. At the time, St. Louis Cardinals. And it still is in baseball. So these are important issues that we're tackling today. So this is kind of fun, too. At the White House, they've kind of shuffled around the media representatives, and they brought in the new media influencers. And one of them is quite special, apparently. Conservative influencer who was convinced last year that the moon had disappeared.
The moon had disappeared?
Yeah. She thought the moon disappeared.
I mean, did they go outside when they were high?
No, she couldn't find it for 7 days. And she was like, has anybody else noticed the moon is gone?
Oh, no. Was
she hanging out with Chelsea
Was it
Handler?
during a new moon? Please tell me it was at least that.
It doesn't really specify. She said, here's her exact quote. Has anyone seen the moon lately?
Oh, no.
I've been looking for 7 days.
No.
That's hilarious.
Incredibly, one of her followers stated that they couldn't locate the moon either.
Okay.
And were convinced it had disappeared.
Yeah.
And then she said, it has. Why is everyone silent about this?
Are we sure? Honestly, are we sure that it's real? I mean, that she wasn't just joking around.
Well, it's the same person who asked Caroline Lovett what she would like her to ask her about.
Okay.
So she asked for the guidance of the White House press secretary. Okay. What would you like to be asked?
I could come up with something, but right now I'm worried about the moon missing.
Right.
Wow. That's a bad trip.
What's this person's name? What's this person's name?
I think it's Nelson, something Nelson. Let me see here.
I bet if you Google person looking for the moon, it's going to come up right on top.
Cambry Nelson. Sounds like a person who might not be able to find the moon in the sky.
So, Fisher, is your theory of looking up?
Just got to look up.
Okay, got it.
Got to look up.
I just make sure.
Maybe she didn't do that.
She has to do that, yeah.
That's entirely possible right there.
Oh, no.
And if I had seen that post, I would have responded, look up.
Let me in!
Wow.
That would have been a good response. Yeah. Look up on a non-cloudy night. How about? Because you might not see it if there's clouds. So it's a weird phenomenon. But when clouds block the reflection of the moon from the sun, then you don't see it.
So now I could be wrong on this, but let me ask you a question.
And you probably are.
Even if you
Sneak
don't
peek to the question.
even if you don't see it.
Yeah. Could it be there still?
The moon is still there, right?
Okay.
No.
No?
When you can't see it, it's obviously not there.
Again,
No, where'd you get that? That's weird.
So,
I thought I was wrong. That's why I started.
Actually, if you're a fan of Chelsea Handler, you know that when you look up during the day, it's brighter. The moon is brighter during the day. Yeah, but don't look directly at it.
Oh, well, because
I didn't know, and this is true.
This is true.
I didn't know until I was 40 years old that the sun and the moon were not the same thing.
Whew. Wow.
That's staggering.
That is.
That's staggering.
So there are stupid people out there.
Oh, boy.
So who's stupider here?
I got to go
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Chelsea.
I got to go with Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Because until...
I didn't know, and this is true.
This is true.
I didn't know until I was 40 years old that the
9
sun
years ago.
and the moon were not the same thing.
Wow.
Because at least Nelson had a bad trip.
Yeah, at least she knew the sun and the moon were different, right? So
she just wasn't looking up.
Right.
I mean, that's totally out of context, though, Pat. I mean, it's so cut and dry.
It is.
I didn't know.
And this is true. Until 9 years.
Until I was 40.
Like, there's no wiggle room there.
And, when this aired, she was 49. I think she might be 50 now. I don't know. It's fairly recently that she said that. So why would you ever admit that?
No kidding.
Why?
That's one of those things.
Why would you ever say that? That's weird.
She's
really
one
weird.
of the people, Pat.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah. One of the people who are incredibly stupid and you want to identify with them. So that's really good. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos. Did you talk about this? Talking about the how Netflix has saved movies for Hollywood?
We talked about it the other day. Yeah. He and they a little wound up at him.
Yes.
And
they're a
the
little
movie industry and the theaters are a little wound up.
He says that the traditional theater experience is outdated
Yeah.
for most, and that audiences have made it clear they'd rather watch movies at home. Is that wrong? I don't know. I think that might be right.
It's not wrong, except that audiences will and have been and do go to the theater. They just the numbers, they're trying to fight back since the pandemic. And Hollywood needs to actually come up with some films that people want to go see. When that happens, people go to the theater to see them. It's not that difficult. So if it's a terrible movie, just put it on streaming and move on. And that's what I told them how to work out that deal. The top movies. I don't know how many.
I can't believe they haven't listened to you.
I know.
What is the matter with
they
these
need to
people?
Listen to Chewing the Fat.
Do they not understand?
Apparently not.
You're trying to help them.
Apparently not.
Sarando said, we're saving Hollywood. You mentioned the box office being down. What does that say? What is a consumer trying to tell us? That they'd like to watch movies at home. Thank you. That's what he said. And I do enjoy watching movies at home.
Yes.
You don't have the hassle of going and parking and paying, And if you pay $20 for a movie, let's say on, I don't know, whatever your choice is for buying movies online, it's $20 or $25, and if you have your family gathered there, that's a pretty good deal, really, right? Because you'd pay $100 at the movie theater if you took your family,
right? Because the tickets aren't that expensive, but everything else is.
Yeah,
and you don't have to sneak the food into the theater.
I don't recommend that. That would be
seriously
breaking
though,
the theater rules.
Just the tickets though to these new theaters are what, $14? Per person, if you go at
least,
night.
at
$15 a piece.
Oh yeah.
So if you take 4 or 5 people,
especially if you're going to the IMAXs and
and they're
like $20 for IMAX.
They just added the D box at the movie
I don't
theater.
even know what that is. What is that?
Pat, you need to do D box when you watch Mission Impossible. Do D box. What happens is
I am looking forward to the new Mission Impossible. I will see
synced
that.
up to the movie, so you move as the movie's moving.
Oh my gosh!
The seat moves?
Yes.
Oh wow! So it's like a Disneyland ride.
It's like a Disneyland ride. Yes.
That's kind of cool.
And it's okay.
Have you done it?
It's okay. Yeah, we did. I forget what movie it was. Maybe it was Kong. Planet of the Apes. The latest, the last Planet of the Apes. I saw it with.
I did it for Moana, and it was really fun with the kids. It was fun.
Do they spray you with water and stuff when there's?
That's 5D.
Yes.
That's 5D. You only have 4D.
They hire little people that sneak around and just spray you in the face so they don't block the view.
No, they have a little line there,
the sprinklers,
like you do at the produce
that
section.
spray stuff in your face. Yeah, and then when they release a gas for Mission Impossible, they actually release a gas in the theater.
You end up falling asleep and miss the last half of the movie.
Yeah, everybody's out. Few people have died because they hit their head on the way down, and so it's in less theaters than it was at first.
Yeah, they shut that theater
when you're in the plane, they turn on the fan so they make you feel like you're actually on top of the plane.
Right.
So a D-box ticket.
I'm looking forward to the Mission Impossible movie, though.
Okay, so Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. If you want a D-box seat and it's in the evening at 7:15 for this showing, it's $20.75.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm watching Mission Impossible.
Then you got to have popcorn.
Yeah,
you got to have soda.
Well, you don't have to.
You have to have popcorn. You have to have a soda. You have to have some Twizzlers. You have to have some. You have to have some kind of gummies.
Well, now you're talking $700-800.
You have to have some. You have to have some Mike and Ike's. You have some Mike and Ike's.
Make your own D-box with the gummies.
Those gummies are in your pocket. Yeah, you're bringing those along.
I just want to know, what is it like, gentlemen, to go to see a movie in a theater? Because normally I wait, 30, 40 years to see a movie. You're saying you can actually go somewhere and see it right when it comes out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could.
I'll be damned.
You could, yeah. It's incredible technology.
We should go see Mission Impossible in D-box, Pat.
We should.
I got the tickets.
We should.
So.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You already got tickets?
I got 2 tickets for D-box. If you want to come with me, you can.
You're not going with your wife?
She doesn't like that kind of movie.
Oh, okay.
Jeffy and I are happy to come along if you'd like to.
I refuse to take a pity offer now. I'll tell you that.
I have no pity offer coming. I apologize for that. I only got 2 tickets, and that's all I'm doing here.
Got 2 tickets to
2
Paradise.
tickets.
So pack your bags. We'll leave tonight.
Awesome.
All right. All right. So tariffs have thrown the global economy into chaos. Potential widespread inflation tied to massive supply chain disruption is weighing heavily on all of us. But there is a silver lining that most people missed. President Trump specifically exempted gold and silver bullion from these sweeping tariffs. So while the new policies are maybe going to trigger some financial chaos, the administration preserved your ability to diversify into precious metals. If you're concerned about your savings, let me encourage you to get a free consultation with a Birch Gold precious metals specialist. The first step is to text PAT to 989898, and you'll get a free no-obligation info kit on gold. So you'll learn how to hold gold and silver in a tax-sheltered account. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or a 401k into a gold IRA with no money out of pocket at all. That's why I buy my gold from Birch Gold. I trust these people. Maybe it's finally time you did too, with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Thousands of thankful customers. Just text my name to Pat to the number 989898. Again, text Pat to the number 989898 and claim your free info kit now.
Pat Gray Unleashed now continues.
Remember the hockey death in England last year? Somewhere in Great Britain, where the guy lifted his skate and sliced the neck of...
Yeah, and that was...
there it is
last
right
year
there.
Oof, a couple years ago.
Yeah, October of 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wow.
So a year and a half ago.
God.
So bad.
So bad.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
just really sad.
We
and
have an
senseless.
update on that, gentlemen.
Okay.
No criminal charges will be brought to Matt Petgrave for the death of Adam Johnson.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the officials are saying that there was no realistic chance of a conviction, so...
We all saw it happen.
I know.
Right before our eyes. What do you mean? You got video evidence of what? There it is. We just saw the murder take place. I mean, maybe you couldn't get him on first degree because I don't know if he planned it in advance, but...
Here's the Here's the statement.
At least manslaughter.
From the police. Quote, following a thorough police investigation and a comprehensive review of all the evidence by the CPS, we have concluded that there is not a realistic prospect of conviction for any criminal offense, and so there will not be a prosecution. Our thoughts remain with the family and friends of Adam Johnson. So it's over. There
wow. Wow. That's hard to believe.
Terrible.
Has the guy been playing hockey in the meantime?
I know he was out on bail. I don't know if he's been playing.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either.
That's incredible. Holy cow.
I will look up his stats.
What a travesty of justice that is.
I agree completely. I mean,
come on.
I've watched that video over and over again to see if his foot got hung up in another skate.
Yeah.
And he was trying to shake it loose. That's not the case.
No way.
I mean, it's,
no.
And let's see.
And also remember, he has a history of being a hothead.
Right.
So
it does not appear he's been playing. Because his stats were just 7 games, 23-24. And if this happened in October of 23, that would line up with played a little bit early in the season and hasn't played since. That's what I'm seeing.
Wow. But he got away with murder.
I agree.
Wow. That's amazing. Jeez.
At least involuntary manslaughter, right?
Right.
I mean,
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Also, closer to home here, we've got Payton Jackson, who is Fort Worth City Council. This is something you said is
this came up in my
news?
feed last night. And,
something good.
Yep, she is a woman who is running for City Council here. And it's so weird. It's so Euro. How in Texas we do these local elections on Saturdays. So I don't know if y'all know this or not, but we're having to vote in our city elections on Saturday.
Right.
Fort Worth is one of the races. I don't know if there's polling data on this. I don't know if she has a realistic chance. I just loved this when I saw this if you're a resident of Fort Worth, Texas.
When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot. So when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have confused children and sick, enabling adults. Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburghs Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically.
At this point, I'm just nodding. Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you say.
Sounds good.
I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I side with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper.
Ow!
Wow, she is great.
I wish I lived in Fort Worth just to vote for her.
Technically, I do live in Fort Worth, but I
don't know if you're in her district.
Nah, it's Central Fort Worth, straight south to South Fort Worth, just a straight line down the middle of it.
I hope she wins, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she's got two people running against her. I don't know anything about them. I don't know polling data. Would love to.
She's awesome.
Yeah, that was on fire, man.
To know about and talk about Margaret Sanger that way, that is fantastic. And that's exactly what Margaret Sanger did, was to install Planned Parenthood clinics, abortion clinics in black neighborhoods to try to eliminate undesirables, in her words. So good for her for knowing that.
No doubt.
And discussing it openly where others could hear it and respond to it.
So she's 28.
Wow.
And she mentioned at the very beginning she ran for Congress, I guess. I would say, Miss Jackson, if things don't work out with Fort Worth City Council, could you maybe move a little east and run against someone named Jasmine Crockett?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, my gosh.
So let's see what happens on Saturday, and then we'll reconvene about you moving across town if necessary.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So let's see. What are your top priorities? Let's see. Eliminate taxes for homesteaders, natives first. I don't know, I guess.
Okay.
So I guess they're saying that if I don't know what that means exactly. You have to live here for, I don't know. Reform code compliance, improve education.
I've been big on code compliance.
Yeah. How would you characterize the performance of city management?
Talk about it almost too much.
Past 5 years. Lackluster. Let's see. What is the single biggest issue your particular district faces? Homelessness.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Did you talk about code violations?
Oh, hold on a second.
Speaking of code violations, homelessness.
She wants to reform taxes, education, and a Doge type thing. Okay. Good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's keep an eye on that race.
Absolutely.
Find out what happens and report back on Monday.
Payton Jackson.
Payton Jackson.
Coming up
if you live in that area, she seems like a good one.
No kidding.
Seems like a keeper. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow. Also coming up on Overtime, Keith and Hillary will be handling that, and Jeffy and I will be down the hall filling in for Glenn and Stu today.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.